see little bubbles in the pitcher of water. I wonder if it's starting to simmer.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Okay. All right. The nose has definitely died down with a little bit of water.
But it's still there.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Spice, a little bit of wood, not sort of old oak, but a much more sort of vibrant, kind of charry.
I'm almost getting a hint of fruit, too. Just
With the water,
yeah.
it really brings out that fruity, like almost like a mango kind of.
Or papaya.
Or, not so much papaya really, or passion fruit, but not. I'm just being
No,
ridiculous.
just
Fruit. It reminds me, we've tasted a rye spirit. It's not a whiskey because it hasn't been aged at all. From the Koval, I believe I hope I'm pronouncing that right, distillery in Chicago. Their micro distillery there. I've tasted that, and in all their spirits, but especially in the rye, I get a really fruity, tropical fruit kind of taste to it. And maybe that is the rye character coming out.
Maybe. I think you're probably right. I think that's what it is. Because I did think of the Jim Beam rye with that little bit of hint of fruit in there.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
It is. It's very tasty.
But wow, I can feel it.
Oh yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. So I brought a bottle of the original Knob Creek here. This is the 100 proof version in the small batch collection. And small batch is a term you'll see on bourbon bottles and even some other whiskey. It's essentially meaningless. There is no legal definition of the term. Knob Creek is often used as an example of how meaningless the term is. For Jim Beam, which makes Knob Creek, the Knob Creek small batch is probably bigger than the regular size batches from many other distilleries, like for instance Four Roses, Wild Turkey, some of the smaller ones. So yeah, it's the term really has very little meaning. It's a marketing term. These batches of barrels are smaller.
The barrels are.
Regulars.
Batches are.
The batches are, yes. The barrels are not smaller. It's the same size barrels.
But single barrel
Yes.
is different.
Yes.
Single barrel, all of this whiskey comes from one barrel.
That's right. So you will get, so a part of the fun of single barrel is that you get variation from barrel to barrel. So.
Of course, the master distiller tries to keep the flavor profile the same.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And with a bigger release like this Knob Creek single barrel, or for instance the Evan Williams single barrel vintage releases, you're going to get
I got a little wax in mine.
a lot more consistency. Well, maybe the exploding wax thing is true.
I think I was just careless when I was ripping it off.
Yeah, some people like char in their bourbon. Some
Not
people
me, I
like
prefer
wax.
wax.
Well, there you go. Yeah. All right. So, any closing thoughts on Knob Creek single barrel?
It's worth trying. Yeah, I like it.
Worth trying. You want to try some of the regular Knob Creek just for a brief comparison?
Sure, but I think I need to get another glass.
Aha. Well, I believe I have another one right here.
Okay.
Or I did. There we go. Another
Thank you.
Jim Beam. I'm just going to use the same glass.
this won't have sat as long.
Right. But it has been sitting in a less than full bottle for a longer period of time, so it has air
The
outside.
nose is, first off, not nearly as potent.
No, it's not, and not nearly as spicy either. I
No.
get a lot more. I get a lot more caramel and like you said, brown sugar out of this.
I'm hardly getting anything.
I almost get more wood out of this
Yeah,
than I
I'd
got out of that.
say this is a much richer flavor.
Mhm.
Much more depth in this one
Yeah.
than that one.
Yeah, it is. The regular is a little, I wouldn't say one-dimensional, but less dimensional,
I was going to say flat,
flat.
which
compared
would
to-
be like one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I think it's, well, it's not entirely, but it's more one-dimensional. And the finish isn't as nice either.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the finish is much shorter.
It's kind of flat as well. Not to say that it's bad. It's just in comparison to this.
Yeah. I mean, that's something you'll discover too on your whiskey journey, is that the order in which you taste things can have an impact on how you taste them. So if you taste something like this, which is higher proof, possibly older, maybe a little, it's more expensive anyway, a little bit more potent. If you taste this before you taste something like this isn't going to taste as good
However, and I will
if you
say
don't
that
start off with that.
in the regular Knob Creek, that yeast taste is more prominent too, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
Well, shall we call it a day?
Yes, cheers.
Cheers.
And hopefully we'll be able to do some more of these video reviews with some more special guests. Maybe it'll be Amy again. Maybe it'll be Oscar. The ever popular Oscar from straightbourbon.com and other websites. Who's also a good friend of mine. Maybe we'll be able to take a journey to Tony's bunker. Wouldn't that be fun?
Ooh, that would be nice.
All right.
A field trip.
A field trip, that would be great. All right, well, thank you for watching. And I'm Josh. This is Amy. Signing off. Cheers.